One. Hello, nerds around the world, and welcome to another episode of the Nerds United One podcast. I'm Stephen Miller, your host tonight. And this is episode 68 of our show. And this is a special topic, and this is a particular topic I've been looking forward to tackling on the show. It is our top 5 movie crossovers we want to see happen. And to help me out with that, I have two guys. Of course, you know them. Of course, you probably know them by now. And they've been on the show for very long, and they've become pretty much regulars on the show. Of course, we have Jack Fern. Jack, what's going on? It's been a long time since we had you.
Yeah, I've been busy with stuff, but it's good to be back. I've missed doing this, so I'm going to try and make a bigger commitment to show up more.
Okay. Like I said, it hasn't really been the same. It has been the same about everybody around. Hopefully we get everybody back. On the show. And also we have Colton Hunt. Colton, what's happening, my man?
I'm doing great. It's finally time for Civil War, everybody. This Friday, or Sunday in my case, because I have work on that day and the day following that. But Sunday, I'm definitely seeing that film. I can't wait for the discussion for it, and I hope it's a lot more happy compared to our Batman v Superman discussion.
I think it will be.
Maybe, possibly. I got one thing to say about that. Underoos. I'm just kidding.
We're not calling him Underoos.
Is that your nickname, Colton? I'm just kidding. Yeah. Don't Hulk out on me, okay? All right, just do it.
Hulk smash!
Okay, yes, of course we are very anxious to see the heroes of the Marvel Cinematic Universe debuting out coming this Friday. But in the meantime, as I said, our topic of tonight's show is the top 5 movie crossovers we want to see happen. This is a topic involving particular movie franchises, universes that we want to see crossover, and why, and also the particular reasons why we want to see this kind of film happen, the reasons also why we think it might be a particularly good film. And I'll start off with I'll start off with myself. Like I said, we are doing this is a countdown of the top of 5 of these ideas we want to see happen. The possibilities of these ideas coming to life is less than likely, but we can at least have our imagination. But we still hope this will become a reality. Okay, I will start off with myself. I'm going on from number 5 to number 1, of course. Like I said, starting with myself. Number 5, what I want to see. My number 5 is a RoboCop and Terminator movie. The RoboCop and Terminator franchises had their share. They have become iconic in the imaginations of many audiences around the world. And yet, these 2 franchises had their share of shortcomings. They had their share of stumbles along the way. Most notably, can we not even discuss that the 2014 remake of RoboCop?
I liked it.
Okay.
I've never seen the original, so.
Yeah.
You're doing yourself a great disgrace, Jack, by not seeing it. That's like cinematic. Great.
It's like not seeing Star Wars, Jack.
Oh, and just an update, I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, I know. It's me.
What are we going to do with him, Colton? Me, Paul, and me, Caleb, Paul, Mike, what are we going to do with this guy?
I don't know. Banish him to Planet Zero from Fantastic Four.
Maybe I just want to force choke you. Okay. I'm resisting the temptation, but yeah. On to my, my suggestion about this crossover, these 2 franchises happening. I mean, it kind of seemed. I mean, yeah. When you think of the nature of these kind of ideas, they might seem kind of silly, but you can't resist the idea of something like this. Going to happen. Especially with two characters like RoboCop and Terminator sharing a film together. I mean, imagine what the brawls would be like, especially. But the Terminator, I know it's done in comic book fashion before, but like I said, possibly movie crossovers like this, the chances of having it, seeing, like a likely process to actually happen, but still, the idea behind this is nevertheless intriguing, especially when you have two iconic, characters like RoboCop and the Terminator. I mean, sharing the screen in the live-action movie. That's something I would pay big money to see, no question. All right, Jack. What's
I had a question for you about yours. Would yours be a reboot? Would yours be a reboot of both franchises?
Maybe like a sort of, I don't know, but I don't want to say reboot, but something along like having the original continuities merging with each other with something, maybe something along those lines. I don't want. I mean, I know I wouldn't see. I mean, especially me for RoboCop, I don't want to see him designed the way he was in the remake. I want the old Chrome design. I didn't. That whole design for me, that movie is not RoboCop by any chance. I mean, I want the original character in that original design. Fighting off against, I mean, of course he's not going to be played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, but someone quite similar to him. Like I said, I don't want. I wouldn't want this to be a reboot specifically, or maybe I'm not really sure, but a reboot I wouldn't. I'm not sure I'd be welcoming to that kind of idea, but I do want to see this happen. And Jack left us for a moment. Hopefully he'll be back.
Let's give him a minute or so before we add you mine.
Okay, all right.
Speaking of you talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, if they actually did make a Terminator RoboCop crossover, I wouldn't put it past them to somehow find a way to shoehorn him into the film. It's like even in Terminator Salvation, they somehow they found a way to get him into the movie. I mean, I know it wasn't actually Arnold; it was like it was like special effects and everything. But still, it's like they think they're actually think the Terminator franchise is naked without him, which is ironic since Terminators always show up naked when they time travel. I think the only time I've ever not seen him present was Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles, which was actually pretty badass and all that jazz because they focused on and. The fact that they focused on other characters besides Arnold's Terminator was welcome. Okay, Jack's back.
That's just a Jack, yeah.
Yeah, my computer decided not to work.
No,
so I'll go now if you want me to go.
Yeah, you're waiting for you to come back.
Mine is number one is an Avengers and X-Men crossover, which hopefully will happen, but not likely, but maybe. And I'd kind of like to see it based on it was either 2014 or 2015, and when the Avengers versus X-Men comic book arc happened. And it was a lot of fun because you had the Avengers and the X-Men, and you had them just fighting each other because they wanted. It was about the Phoenix Force coming back to Earth, and they both had different opinions on it. And it was really good. I'd like to see them cross over. Probably not going to happen, but it'd be cool to see.
Okay, all right, interesting, Jack. Okay, cool. Why don't you give us number 5 on your list?
Number 5 on my list is Jack Ryan and Jason Bourne. I can see this kind of happening since Jack works for the CIA and Treadstone and all those other shady government stuff from the sequels to Jack Ryan or Jason Bourne were all CIA operations, if memory serves. It's Like, I think it could work mainly because, well, for one matter, I think it might be kind of humorous to see Chris Pine and having to work opposite of someone as obviously badass as Matt Damon, and given how the kind of characters that Jack Ryan and Jason Bourne are, that could actually they could really play well off each other. I think like Jason is obviously the badass, and Jack, well, he can fight. He's someone that primarily seems to be a bit more of a intelligent bystander, I guess you could say, and I can see them crossing over by Jack stumbling onto some sort of new CIA conspiracy that even Jason isn't aware of, and them teaming up to stop it, with Jack being the thinker and Jason primarily being the doer. I know the odds of it happening are pretty slim, but it'd be pretty cool if it ever happens,
Okay, it seems like it seems like an interesting idea myself. Yeah, I prefer another secret agent crossover with.
I'd rather see James Bond than Jason Bourne because I wasn't a huge fan of the Jack Ryan movie.
I think it's like I thought about James Bond, but I thought it'd be kind of redundant to add them together because they'd obviously be. They're already very moody characters and what have you, so it would kind of just make the movie pretty dark. I guess I would like to see Jack around to kind of be a bit more, tad lighter to Jason's darkness, I guess you could say. I mean, I don't know how Jack Ryan acts in the books, but from the movies I've seen him in, like with Harrison Ford, Alec Baldwin, and Chris Pine, he seems like a decently adjusted character, I guess you could say.
I suppose so, but I mean, they're probably going to use. I mean, they're probably going to, if they ever do something like that, they're probably going to portray Bond like he was in the earlier movies. That's probably what their approach is going to be, and it's not the right one. And anyway, going on to number 4 for me is I want to see a Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover. I mean, it would seem likely, that something like this would be on the list, I mean, yeah, they're not. I mean, the Transformers movies, they're not cinematic art, And the G.I. Joe movie was a guilty pleasure at best. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. But I mean, this idea is kind of this idea is kind of enticing. The two great properties of Hasbro, coming together in one movie. I mean, like I said, I'm really too familiar with the mythologies of both of these franchises, but I have seen the movie versions. I mean, well, Draw Transformers is undoubtedly the better one. I mean, it did suffer some really unfortunate, sequels in the process, which we will not name. But nevertheless, I mean, you can probably say, a movie crossover like this could be, one huge marketing ploy.
Pretty much, but I do think it's feasible. I mean, wasn't there a comic where they crossed over actually?
I believe there was. I think. I think I'm not sure. I think IDW did something like that. I mean, I think they did. Or it might have been a cartoon where where we seen both of them crossover. I mean, it does seem less than likely. There have been rumors about it happening for about over years now. I mean, some people will call it like a clusterfuck or something like that. Some people would. I mean, some people would probably moan and groan the idea, but there is the kind of a giddy delight you have, this were to become a possibility. I I would be jumpy. Around if I see Snake Eyes close up me side by side with Optimus Prime down.
I would like, if they're gonna do it, I would like a reboot of the Transformers because the Transformers suck right now. And that is someone that's coming from someone who liked the latest Transformers movie.
Oh yes, I remember that.
They like the latest movie, but they suck right now. So how does that work?
Yes. of course, they still have Michael Bay in there because they were able to lure him by the way of the dollar, you know. But
Yeah, and I don't want any Michael Bay in this movie. Keep him away from this potential crossover.
Who would you have directed?
Anybody but Michael Bay.
Anybody?
Actually,
anybody but Michael Bay and M. Night Shyamalan.
I would either want to see Justin Lin or James Wan direct it.
Although, speaking of crossovers, it would be funny to see a movie directed by Michael Bay and M. Night Shyamalan because it would make no sense and it would just have a lot of tits and ass and explosions.
I'd actually probably watch that movie.
And bad plot twists in the process. So.
Well, that's what I said. It wouldn't make any sense.
Right. Well.
I'd probably watch that just to see the insanity unfold.
Yeah. No, two massive shiny eagles, clashing at each other. Yeah, the potential possibilities of that. Okay, moving on. Okay, Jack, why don't you give us number 4 on your list?
My number 4 is something that's probably never going to happen. Spider-Man and Batman. They had some crossovers in the early 90s. They were a lot of fun, really interesting. If I were doing it, I would do it with a older Peter Parker because that's how it was in the comics, and I don't think it would work as well with this new young Peter Parker, but I think it would be cool to see a Spider-Man and Batman team up to take on people. I think that'd be fun because they have like an interesting dynamic. Because Batman's also, I guess Spider-Man's like wisecracking all the time. But they kind of like each other anyway. So it'd be cool to see on screen.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right, Colton, why don't you give us a number 4 on your list?
Number 4 on my list is Peter Pan and the Little Mermaid, because why not?
Right.
I mean, they're both Disney movies, and we've seen mermaids and Peter Pan, but I mean, considering the fact that Eric and Ariel live in a seafaring kingdom and Captain Hook is a pirate, I can see them all crossing paths, like Captain Hook learning about the secrets of King Triton's trident, and so he leaves Neverland and goes to Ariel and Eric's kingdom and attempt to kidnap Ariel to get Trident to surrender his Triton and all that jazz, and thus Peter has to travel there to stop him. And as an added bonus, we can have, I don't know, adult Wendy be there as well. Maybe because, I don't know, maybe she's become a pretty well-known storyteller or something, and she got invited to the kingdom. I mean, I know that might be pushing things since Wendy grows up in the mid-1900s, but it's never stated what year The Little Mermaid takes place in, and given how Eric and Ariel live in the castle in the Kingdom of Vagueness, I think you could get away with these two movies crossing paths. And for more enjoyment, we could have, instead of Hook being pursued by a crocodile, he could be pursued by a shark or something, like the one that first attacked Ariel Flounder in the first Little Mermaid film. And a running gag that can be present in the movie is, I mean, anytime a character anytime Ariel reveals she's a mermaid to one of the Neverland characters, they can all note that she's unusually nice for a mermaid, considering how they were all total bitches in the first Peter Pan film. Pardon my language.
Mm-hmm.
I know it would never happen, but it just sounds like something that could be a lot of fun.
I have to say something because I loved Peter Pan as a kid, so like I am totally sold on this. I would see this movie. Then again, I would probably see a Peter Pan crossover with anything.
That'd be cool.
But it does seem like an interesting choice, nevertheless. It does sound kind of enticing, But you do have some pretty interesting directions, ideas there, Colton. I see. Like you said, they're both Disney movies, and it would be an interesting idea to see these things would merge together in one film.
It'd be pretty cool to see Wendy taking on some of the pirates also after having been pretty passive, I guess you could say, in the first Peter Pan film. I mean, I know she was meant to be the motherly figure of the group and everything, but it'd be cool to see her getting in on the action.
All right, like I said, interesting choice. Okay, going on to number 3 for me. My number 3 has to be a Godzilla and Pacific Rim crossover. Yeah.
Excellent choice.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that. I did love. The 1954 version of Godzilla is, like it is probably, it is definitely. I think it's a really, really wonderful, entertaining movie. I did like the Gareth Edwards remake, despite the many faults that it had. I thought it was pretty entertaining overall. And Pacific Rim was just, it's like being the kid at a candy store with the giant robots and, of course, the kaiju, whooping each other's ass, left and right, and all. Just like, yeah, this has to be this. You put the King of the Monsters together with these gigantic monster fighting robots against frightening and these really terrifying giant monsters. This might be a special effects. It's Wizard's dream. The possibility. Yeah. The carnage of it, Imagine going to like this, Godzilla. Imagine it going like this. Godzilla. He's been hasn't been seen for 10 years. Then he comes back. You have you have the Jaegers, and you have several Jaegers trying to put the bastard down, and all hell breaks loose, and Godzilla. We have Godzilla fighting dirty, just like. I'd be grinning like an idiot looking at something like that, and then they join forces with Godzilla. Oh man! I'm nearly sweating right now at the possibility of Godzilla, laying the smackdown on other kaiju. It's just like.
It's tailor made for a crossover. How can no one think of this? Well, plenty of normal fans have thought of this, but higher up get their minds.
Well, we're getting a Godzilla King Kong movie.
Oh yeah,
we already had that though. Godzilla.
We already had that, but I do want to see it, updated with the technology today though.
Nah, that's true.
I haven't seen the original, but yeah, I definitely look forward to seeing this version. Of course, it's going to be all Warner Brothers, Godzilla Kong universe, that started with, the remake, and it's going to be doing it with Kong Skull Island and Godzilla 2. Yeah. We've seen Kong and Godzilla crossover, but like I said, what I'm proposing, another idea that doesn't, seem like it's going to become a possibility, but still, you leave it to your imagination, just to see how. To imagine a story of how, these two franchises would merge together in a single film. Okay, Jack, why don't you give us number 3 on your list?
Well, I just realized I've been reading mine out of order. But I'll just go ahead with whatever I have written down because the order doesn't count anymore.
Okay.
But I could tell you that my Avengers and X-Men, that was number 1. Mm-hmm. And then Spider-Man and Batman was number 4, so I'm just going to give number 5 right now. Okay. And that is Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yes.
That sounds like Batman's worst nightmare.
Actually, there is a comic book going around right now called Batman, and he's crossing over, and it's called Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And he's crossing over with them, and they are hanging out and eating pizza in the Batcave.
Please tell me this. Is this actually like? Is this an actual comic?
Is this official?
Yes. Yeah.
Man, that must be. I can only imagine how Alfred must be thinking about this, like a bunch of mutant Ninja Turtles eating at the Batcave. And
Alfred wasn't very happy that they're skateboarding in the house.
Oh my goodness! But
the funniest thing is they got to eat Batman to eat pizza in the Batsuit.
How?
What?
It was really good, and he just was hungry, I guess.
Man, I pay money to see that right now.
So the comic is really good. I didn't get to finish it. The I'm missing a couple of issues, but it's really good from what I saw so far. So I'd love to see something like that on the big screen. I mean, it is totally wacky and cool, but it works.
Yeah, it might be. It might be worth a look. Sounds kind of. It does. It does sound intriguing from what you say, but it definitely should be something that should be checked out. Okay, Colton, why don't you give us number 3 on your list?
Number 3 on my list, and this one was written more as a joker compared to the rest of them, but Gladiator and the Hunger Games. Okay, I know this sounds silly, okay, but I mean, remember, the Hunger Games are basically a high-tech update of the Gladiator games of old, okay? So be it through time travel or dream sequence or whatever, I'd totally be okay seeing Katniss and the gang winding up in the days of ancient Rome and Katniss doing something stupid that gets herself, Peeta, Gale, and Johanna thrown into the Colosseum, and then having to figure out how to survive while and noting some of the similarities between these games and their own, namely how how the crowd perceives you is still an important factor, and the fact that the Colosseum is, well, the cornucopia, only much worse. And the fact that Johanna is such a blood knight, I just love to see her fighting at the Colosseum, and everyone just being utterly shocked at how ruthless she is, among other things. And yeah, there can be some sort of uprising going on that our heroes join, and that could be started by the characters from the original Gladiator film and all that jazz. But yeah, this is just an excuse to get them in. This is just an excuse to see them fighting in that sort of style, because I noted how, like I said, Hunger Games is basically Gladiator games on a bigger scale, I guess. That's my number 3. I know it's silly, but I admitted it's silly. I could tell this is one crossover that I could totally not see. I can accept will never happen, but I can dream.
Okie dokie. Another interesting movie idea. Like you said, may not be likely, but interesting all the same. Actually, I like to do a little rearranging of my choices. Rearranging my choices. Actually, number 5, I want to see a. Number 5, I want to see a Transformers Joe crossover. Number 4, Godzilla, and Peter Pan, and for number 3, and actually for me, I do want to see I want to see a James Bond and Jason Bourne crossover. Yeah, I know that sounds predictable,
It works.
Huh?
But it works.
I was gonna say, yeah. Like I said, it's an idea. That seems like a winning combination. You got two. You got two of the biggest badasses in espionage working together in one movie. How awesome? How could this not be an awesome idea? I don't. Maybe this should be like in this kind of movie. Maybe it should be like some kind of fight, something. Because maybe probably in a movie like this, they're probably they have their strings being pulled by some unseen enemy, and trying to get their two particular agencies trying to fight one another. And we should just see a fight both Bond and Bourne trying to kick each other's ass, see who's the more lethal badass.
Jason Bourne, hands down.
Yeah, Bourne.
I mean, we saw the trailer where for the new movie where he just takes out that one guy in one punch. I mean,
I know he's just like he strikes out. When you see that dude is out. I was like, whoa.
I love that one shot when he's walking away and he steals the Molotov cocktail right out of that guy's hand.
That was crazy.
And he doesn't even notice.
It's like Jason has become such a badass now that it's like nothing can stop him.
Yeah, absolutely, and make this PG-13. Don't make this PG. We don't want. I think we don't want them. We don't want one to shy away. In terms of all the rather edgier content that I believe needs to be shown in a movie like this. Definitely.
Definitely.
But going on to number 2 for me is Harry. I wanted to see a Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings movie crossover.
Not bad.
Mm,
I could sort of see that happening. Maybe if like Middle Earth was another dimension or something like that, perhaps. I don't know.
I've never seen Lord of the Rings.
Jack out.
I mean, I've seen part of one, but I don't know which one it is. But I've seen all of the Hobbit
That's not
movies.
helping your case, Jack.
yeah.
I've seen all the Hobbit movies.
That's even worse.
Yeah. The Hobbit movies are not, let's just say they don't represent Peter Jackson at his finest, nor the whole Middle Earth universe at its finest.
Like they have their merits, but it's like you said, not Peter Jackson at his finest. Though I've heard that there was a lot of executive meddling going on with those movies, though.
The biggest mistake was splitting those 2 into 3 films. That I felt.
Yeah, I mean, I can usually be behind splitting up movies, but I mean, The Hobbit was so short that they obviously had to pad the runtime as much as they possibly could, and it showed, especially in the third movie.
There was no reason to. I mean, but on about a movie crossover between Harry Potter and the Lord of the Rings. Like I said, it seems like I'm repeating myself. Doesn't seem likely, but the idea sounds kick-ass, in itself. And the idea sounds potentially awesome, without question, Having these 2 fantasy universes merge, who would give to see Sauron, in a scene with Lord Voldemort or something like that, hashing out some nefarious scheme, on both the real world and the wizarding world, test the might and strength of both Dumbledore and Gandalf. I mean, that would make the hairs stand on the back of my neck if I see that actually happening.
Yeah. Imagine if the Dementors were in that movie. I mean, they'd be like all the devastation that happened in Middle Earth would be like a feast for those guys.
I mean, we see them. Well, we see them fighting. I mean, we see them against brain rapes. Woo! I mean, I think my head. I don't know. My head would explode, but I would try. Would be hard to contain. Myself from seeing such awesomeness if that were to happen. Definitely, it's just like like I said, not very likely to happen. But all in all, this kind of movie is one that is sure to kick some serious ass without question. Okay, Jack, why don't you give us a number 2 in your list?
My number 2 is. Well, actually, wait. I did Avengers. I did Spider-Man and Batman.
Right.
You did yours out of order. I mean, what's the next one on your list? Right. That's one.
My next one on my list is Spider-Man and Deadpool.
Oh boy.
But I would like to see it would be with an older Spider-Man because that's how it is in the comics, and it works really well to have an older Spider-Man who's kind of annoyed by Deadpool, and Deadpool is kind of like a super huge Spider-Man fan, and he kind of just wants to impress him, and Spider-Man just kind of wants him to go away.
Be funny if you go to the similarities between their costumes or whatever.
It's just really funny because Deadpool always wants to hang out with Spider-Man. Spider-Man's like, get away from me. You're creepy and you kill people. So it'd be funny to see them on screen. And then you could have Deadpool, I would love to see a Ryan Reynolds Deadpool hanging out with Spider-Man.
I mean, I know we haven't seen Civil War yet, but I heard I believe I heard Tom Holland's Spider-Man is pretty hilarious. Imagine the back and forth. The banter between those 2 characters like these. Oh man.
There won't be a second of that. There won't be a second on screen where there wasn't any dialogue spoken.
Oh, yeah. But yeah. I mean, Colton, you gave your number 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the Gladiators and the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you give us a number 2 on your list?
Number 2 on my list, which was originally number 3, but then I switched it up because Gladiator and the Hunger Games is so far-fetched it could never happen. My number 2 on my list now is the 2015 incarnations of the Fantastic Four and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay, I know there were a lot of failings in the 2015 Fantastic Four.
Why?
Yeah.
That movie was horrible.
Let me finish, Jack. I know that movie sucked, but do we really want to see the Fantastic Four get rebooted again? We already have 3 Spider-Man and 3 Hulk, so 3 Fantastic Fours is just pushing it, you know? Just let them just keep the same cast. I mean, they can easily sit them from another dimension, have them get integrated into the greater Marvel Cinematic Universe, and try to actually, rather than just discarding them, try to actually do something good with them, you know?
And then you can kill them all.
No. Okay. I'm not finished yet, anyway. So, yeah, like I said, this reboot, like the 2015 Fantastic Four, the body isn't even cold yet, so just keep them around, have Fox and Marvel come to some sort of agreement, and then have them simply travel from their dimension into the Marvel Cinematic Universe dimension. I mean, the first Fantastic Four, the 2015 Fantastic Four movie was about traveling to alternate dimensions and involved dimension hopping and all that jazz, so it'll be totally feasible for them to wind up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, in terms of a storyline, I think it'd be cool to have them show up during maybe the Infinity War and wonder if they should get involved or not, given how this isn't their fight, and they could also be afraid that they could wind up bringing something back into their own dimension, like, say, a proper Doctor Doom. Like in this universe, Doom is slightly active, but because he lives in a world where people with powers are widespread, in addition to the existence of S.H.I.E.L.D., he could hop into the Fantastic Four dimension where they're the only people with powers, and then with no one to oppose him, he could easily take over Latveria and finally be the Doctor Doom that fans deserve. Oh, and while they're at it, they can also have Bruce Banner give the thing some of the Hulk's magic pants. He could definitely use them, because really, why the hell did we need to see the Thing naked in the 2015 film?
To show that the Thing had genitals.
So yeah, like I said, despite the failings of that film, the 2015 film, I think there is some potential to actually do something cool with them, and I think this is something that this is the potential that they could unlock. I mean, I know it probably won't happen, but it's in the realm of possibilities if Fox would just, I don't know, stop trying to be so selfish with the rights of the characters they're trying to hold. I mean, the fact that they made the 2015 Fantastic Four film just so they could hang on to the rights was pretty petty of them at best. And the fact that it didn't work out for them just shows this even more stupid on their part. Though I do have to laugh at the fact, and I still find it hilarious how Tom Rothman, who was one of the higher ups at Fox, thought that Deadpool would never work out, he's like, Deadpool is never going to work out and what have you, but the second he leaves Fox, they decide to greenlit Deadpool after all, and then Deadpool just totally crushes Fantastic Four, which was the last movie that Tom Rothman greenlit. Fun fact, Tom Rothman now works at Sony, which probably explains some of their more recent weird changes, weird decisions.
Yeah, particularly in the hearing at 23rd Jump Street, and Men in Black are going to cross over. You wonder, excuse me, Sony, come here. I want to talk to you for 1 second. Come here. You stop fucking up!
You know,
that should just be Sony's catchphrase. Still fucking up.
As stupid as the 23 Jump Street and Men in Black crossover is, I would actually pay money to see that just because. I think there's
see it fail.
I think there's a slim chance they could actually pull off something cool, provided that they do not let Tom Rothman make any decisions in how it's done. Because he's apparently responsible. You know all the things that they blamed. All the things that people blamed Brett Ratner for X-Men: The Last Stand. Apparently, most of them were actually Tom Rothman's fault. Like the reason why several characters got killed off or depowered was the fact that he rushed the movie into development before any of the other actors, like James Marsden and Anna Paquin, before their schedules were cleared up. So it's like, okay, screw it, we'll just do it without you guys. And I'm thinking, how can you do this to them? They were like really important characters in your franchise, you know. And he was apparently also partially responsible for why Bryan Singer jumped ship and left to do Superman Returns, and we all know how that turned out.
Yeah. Brandner. Yeah, great job with that. Great job with X-Men Last Stand. Just kidding. But yeah,
That's the best X-Men movie ever.
no, it's not.
I was being sarcastic.
Okay.
I was doing a fake clap.
I will gladly watch The Last Stand again over Wolverine, however, which is another movie where Tom Rothman was apparently a colossal executive meddling prick, and just because he had Deadpool's mouth sewn shut, and apparently he went behind the director's back and had one of the sets repainted because he wanted it to be lighter or whatever. I'm thinking, oh my gosh.
Maybe him and Avi Arad and Amy Pascal should do like a separate, you should team up and do a separate movie their own. Yeah, let's see. Yeah.
It's like he's the reason why people always assume that executives have no idea what they're doing when it comes to like handling the film.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that does give me a headache thinking about about the stuff like that. But moving on, we're coming to the moment of truth. The number one movie crossover, our number one choice of what movie franchises you want to see crossover, and for me, it is a tie. Yeah. Two ideas, the two ideas so good. I just couldn't, I couldn't choose over which one was better. So I they equally, they're equally, at the top spot for me. One is a DC and Marvel crossover.
You stole my number 2.
Huh? Say that? What?
You stole my number 2 because that's my number 2.
But I want the whole. I want like every superhero in the DC universe, every superhero in the Marvel universe in a single movie.
Yeah, that's mine. That's my number 2.
What was Spider-Man and Batman? Wasn't it?
No, I never got to do my number 2, and that's my number 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jake. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, but yeah. I mean, like Spider-Man and Marvel, Spider-Man and a DC and Marvel crossover. Like I said, I mean, like all the other ideas we have in this whole thing, not likely to happen. But why not? I mean, it's just like the possibilities are endless when it comes to or when it comes to having your favorite superheroes cross over together in a particular movie. This is like there's Mr. Thunder out there. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I mean, whose brain would melt if you see both Superman and Thor in a scene together? Superman, coming down with the debilitating cape, coming face to face, with the God of Thunder, and probably Iron Man and Batman, duking it. And we probably wouldn't see them duking it out, but Iron Man would probably drag Batman to the ground or something like that. Batman would probably, have some kind of device, to temporarily weaken, Tony's arm or something like that, But but yeah, Darkseid and you've seen Darkseid and Thanos together hashing out some horrific master plan. You have these heroes crossing over. Yeah.
Even more hilarious considering the fact that Thanos ripped Darkseid off.
It wasn't. You said that was.
From what I've heard, anyway.
I mean, was that in a?
I said I've heard that.
Colton, yeah, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Colton.
I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, excuse us, folks. We are experiencing some connection difficulties. Hopefully, yeah, due to the fact that there is some severe weather, which is mostly in my area in Colton, but hopefully it won't be as severe. Hopefully, the weather itself will dissipate, and for the remainder we have doing the show. I mean, hopefully it'll dissipate, for the rest of the night. But yeah, as I was saying about crossover of these two universes, like you said, yeah. One thing that a movie like this could suffer is that it could have too many characters. It's definitely. I mean, DC and Marvel crossed over before in the comics. There was a Justice League and Avengers comic. I haven't read it, but there's a comic, and you can. I'm pretty sure somewhere out there you could, and you can buy. You can buy that comic, But yeah, it's just like. But yeah, we should definitely get like a DC and a Marvel crossover. Like I said, it's not likely to happen, but I mean, but by all means, you should at least give it one shot. I mean, there's probably gonna be like mega movies in the future that will combine Superman, Batman, anything could happen. I mean, yeah, we do have several Marvel DC Marvel superheroes in one movie. It wasn't just solo movie superhero movies. I mean, it was solo superhero movies. Since the beginning of the first decade of the 20th century. And now you have all your favorite superheroes from these respective movie universes in a single film. I mean, but like I said, I bet you that something like mega movies, featuring these characters, like a Superman, Batman, Green Lantern movie, or Flash, Green Lantern, or X-Men movie, that could happen. Or Jack, an idea that Jack proposed, like an Avengers and Fantastic Four movie. Excuse me, Avengers and X-Men movie. Those are, movies that are likely to happen. But you have all the DC superheroes and the Marvel superheroes in one film. Can you see myself? Yeah. I mean, the idea is not that hard to resist. I mean, excuse me, it's hard to resist. It's seeing something like that happening. And also the other idea I have, which is in the tie, for first place, is a Star Trek and Star Wars crossover.
Live long and use the Force.
Like I said, and I know, like I said, repeating myself, not likely to happen, but still an awesome idea in the process. Still an awesome idea. Yeah, and because there's been, of course, this ongoing war between which is better, Star Trek or Star Wars.
Star Wars, not even a question.
Yeah, some people would say Star Wars.
The answer simply is Marvel.
We didn't mention Marvel, Jack. We're talking about Star Trek and Star Wars. But yeah, this is going to be like one hell of a space epic. I mean, this is going to be probably every fanboy's dream. Captain Kirk or Han Solo trading with one another. Imagine Captain Kirk trying to put the moves on Princess Leia. It's like, and she's like,
yeah, but Han's dead.
Spoiler alert.
Huh? But
The
it's
movie's
like,
been out since December.
oh my God. This is like an alternate universe scenario I'm proposing here. I mean, but as I was saying about Captain Kirk trying to, trying to charm Princess Leia, he puts his arm around her and says, "Oh, I have one scruffy nerf herder in my life," and Han comes.
One scoundrel at a time.
Han comes and copies can be, and probably Kirk has to do some of his Kirk fu on him, trying to do some kind of karate chop at him or something like that, Spock tries to use like the Vulcan, or Spock tries to use the Vulcan neck pitch on Han, or Luke Skywalker tries to use the Force on Spock.
I would be funny to see him trying to do a Jedi mind trick on Spock. Or probably just want to backfire because Spock would mind trick him. What'd you say, Jack?
I just said Jedi mind trick.
But yeah, as I was saying, of course, that this is what of course, I think I would wet my pants at the sight of the Millennium Falcon and the Enterprise face to face in a single scene, one another. You have the Millennium Falcon, battling against the Enterprise, and you have the Millennium Falcon circling. We have Hassel at the controls of the Millennium Falcon circling around tirelessly around the Enterprise. And the Enterprise firing phasers and photon torpedoes in every which direction. That sounds like something you would see in the Star Trek versus Star Wars crossover. But but you want to see the Federation against the Galactic Empire. Thousands of Federation starships against Star Destroyers. Oh man, you can't help but you can't help but Marvel. You can't help but marvel to see if something like that would to actually happen, or see like Chewbacca against several Wookiees against several Klingons. And you have the Klingons shouting out, "Today is a good day to die," trying to fight the Wookiees and stuff like that.
Let the Wookiee win. Let the Wookiee win.
Like I said, like Enterprise and Federation starships against and the rebellion against the Galactic Empire. Hell yeah. So So that is my list of the movie crossovers I want to see happen. All right, Jack. What's the next one on your list?
Mine is the same as yours. Marvel versus DC. And you have a perfect story you can do because they did it in the 90s and it was called Marvel versus DC, where the companies did a crossover and they all fought each other, and then they all combined and made the Amalgam universe and introduced a new character, Access, who you can introduce in the movie and make it awesome. You have Marvel, you have all the characters fight each other. Wolverine versus Lobo, Thor versus Captain Marvel, Spider-Man versus Superboy, Storm versus Wonder Woman.
Oh boy.
Elektra versus Catwoman.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a bunch in there. Nightwing was in there. Robin. You had Robin versus Jubilee.
Oh man.
Jubilee would win hands down.
Robin actually won.
How? She has power. He doesn't.
He outsmarted her, but they fell in love.
He what?
He outsmarted her, but they did fall in love before they fought. Yeah, so, and that was Tim Drake Robin.
My head is filling with thoughts at this point of an actual movie like this happening. Oh my goodness.
Trying to think who else.
It'll probably happen, just not in our lifetimes, unfortunately.
I mean, you had Kingpin buying the Daily Planet.
What?
You said Bruce Wayne?
No, Kingpin.
The implications behind something like that. Oh man. Wow.
You had so many things. You had it was awesome. I'm trying to think who else fought. Superman fought the Hulk.
Who won?
Superman won.
Damn it. That's kind of rooting for the Hulk.
That's a cop out. Damn it.
Batman fought Captain America.
Don't tell me Captain America lost.
Captain America's like a super soldier. I was like, oh my.
I think it ended in a draw. I don't remember that.
What? I'm crying out loud. Batman is not that badass of a hero, okay? Let him lose for once, okay? For crying out loud.
I don't remember who won. And then you had And then they did the Amalga universe where everything crossed over, and you had Spider-Man and Superboy, and they became Spider-Boy. You had Batman and Wolverine combined, and they became Darkclaw.
Yeah, something about this sounds very disturbing.
Yeah.
You had Professor X, Doctor Strange, and Doctor Fate combined to make Doctor Strange Fate.
Whoa.
Boo!
Bizarre. What the?
It's like the stuff of nightmares almost to me. Did they unfuse or what?
Yeah, later on. You had the Joker and Sabretooth combined,
Oh dear lord.
What?
and they made Hyena.
Oh! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
I can't stop. I don't want to picture any of these horrific.
You had Superman and Captain America, and they became Super Soldier.
Oh. Okay. What? Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else. What else? I can't remember what the name was, but you had Carnage and Bizarro fused together.
Carnage and Bizarro.
Yeah, I think his name was Bizarre Edge or something. I think.
I think I'm having a heart attack right now.
What were the writers on when they made this?
Oh my god.
I don't
How
know,
did the
like,
story end?
everything was saved and they went back to their own dimensions.
Oh.
Goodness.
Oh.
And both of the Earths were saved.
Oh.
I don't want to think of a world existing where all these weird fusions exist.
But Robin and Jubilee were sad because they were in love. But then they did a follow-up comic called Access where some things happened, like where Venom showed up in Superman's universe. And Venom fought Superman and Spider-Man. And then Access brought Spider-Man, so they teamed up to fight Venom, and it was pretty cool. Batman fought Scorpion. Robin and Jubilee teamed up to take on Two-Face.
And then they had sex.
No, because Robin was seeing somebody else.
Oh, bummer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it was pretty cool. So I would love to see that on a big screen. Like, I would literally, like, jizz in my pants if I saw that. Like, I'd have to bring a change of clothes with me. I would nerdgasm so hard.
90% of the theater would have backup pants, you know, if you go see a movie like this. Okay, yeah.
I mean, if you guys haven't read this, you need to read it because it is amazing, but it's weird. Especially when they...
Yes.
Well, the Marvel vs. DC aspect isn't that weird, but it's when they become one universe, then it gets weird. Because they did all these, like, one-issue things, like you had Bruce Wayne, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Really?
That'd be cool.
and you had you had, and then Moon Knight and Nightwing were the same person, became combined.
Right. Okay, interesting. That's about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
But
said,
I would, like, lose my mind if that happened.
you're not the only one. I mean, yeah, it may be hard to handle, but you know, it's like a movie like that, yeah, you shouldn't. You should.
I would do it in, if I were doing it, I would do it in 2 movies.
That probably 3 or 4. I'm not. Yeah, probably.
Well, I think you could do it in 2 because I think you could do the battle in 1 and then end it with the crossover when everybody comes together, and then you have Access Slade trying to fix everything in the second movie.
Right. I mean, yeah, like I said, yeah, that's an idea that cannot be resisted without question. Absolutely. All right, Colton, why don't you give us number 1 on your list?
You know, I thought about having DC versus Marvel and Star Trek and Star Wars, but I decided to leave those off my list because they'd be too obvious. So Well, they are. I mean, you guys both chose them, didn't you?
I did Star Trek and Star Wars.
Yeah. But anyway, my number one is Die Hard crossing over with the universe of White House Down. I don't know if either of you guys saw that movie. Did you?
I saw White House Down.
I saw White House Down. Olympus Has Fallen was better.
It's like I just think it would be hilarious to see John McClane actually meeting one of his many imitators, and them going on some sort of going on some sort of adventure to fight, I don't know, terrorists or maybe just bank robbers for thieves, just for nostalgic purposes for John, And just for added fun, both the main characters in those movies are named John, so I mean, how can you go wrong with that?
Hopefully Bruce wouldn't mail his performance.
Yeah. What'd you say, Chris?
So Kill versus McClane. Yeah.
And I also think it would be a way for them to kind of, I don't know, the movie could also kind of serve as a bit of a meta look into how action movies have changed, like Bruce Willis is a product of the past, and where his character usually got beat up a lot in Die Hard, whereas Channing Tatum's character more or less fought through a lot of his enemies throughout that one. And granted, that's kind of what John McClane has become like recently. So I think this could also serve as a way of kind of acknowledging John's age and have him go back to his more human roots, I guess you could say, and what have you, while still being an entertaining film, and also having a lot of fun, just acknowledging the fact that John, the age actually has caught up with John, but he still will fight as hard as he can whenever he needs to. In addition to the fact that, well, I think they would work well off of one another, especially in comparison to what I can only assume how a good Day to Die Hard worked out with Bruce Willis and Jai Courtney. I didn't see that movie, but I heard the critical feedback. So yeah, that's my number one. I think it's something that actually could work, and it'd be like I said, it'd be interesting because John's Die Hard spun off a lot of imitators. So for John to actually come face to face with one could serve as a humorous idea and what have you. In addition to John just having to deal with the action heroes these days and all that.
Okay, well, interesting idea, Colton. Very, very interesting there. Interesting scenario you pictured there, most definitely.
Yeah, and hopefully, if that ever did happen, hopefully Bruce Willis wouldn't phone in his performance, because it's the kind of crossover that would demand his full attention.
Maybe. I would say most certainly. It's just like, it may not happen, but yeah. It's just like that'll be an interesting movie to watch in the theater. Hell of entertaining, no doubt. Most definitely. Okay, that will do it for our show tonight. And thank you so much for joining us. I mean, it was really a lot interesting. I mean, of course, I've been saying about our DC Universe recap show. Hopefully, we'll be doing that within this week. We have a lot to catch up on, definitely. And the DC the recap show will hopefully be done this Friday, after each of the shows of Flash, the episodes of Flash air on Legends tomorrow have aired. And like I said, upcoming next week, our next episode, we will be discussing Captain America: Civil War. Be sure to check out for that. In the meantime, this is a very interesting and entertaining show to do. I would like to thank the people for joining me on this particular episode. Jack, man, like I said, always great to have you on the show.
It was great to be back. I'll try and be on more often.
Okay, all right. Like I said, Colton, as always, it's always a pleasure having you on this show.
Happy to be here for this episode. It was pretty fun thinking up some of these scenarios and what have you. Like I said, I would totally pay money to see the 2015 Fantastic Four have their potential unlocked and enjoy the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I would like to give a special happy birthday shout out to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is its 8th birthday today.
Mm-hmm.
8 years ago, the first Iron Man came out, and now we're approaching Civil War. So happy birthday, MCU!
Yay!
Big happy birthday, definitely. With that little movie, it's hard to believe almost hard to believe it's been like 8 years since that movie came out. It's interesting to see the journey of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Is now about to release its 18th film. I mean, it's not 18th. It's 13th film in just a few days. Yeah,
it's amazing that they managed to pull this off. You know, I mean, considering how we live in a world where like one wrong move and your franchise gets either discontinued or rebooted or whatever, that they've actually managed to keep a project this amazingly ambitious going for so long. I mean, it's kind of sad that we'll probably never see anything like this, anything this ambitious again in our lifetime. You know.
Yeah, but definitely. But like I said, it's like, yeah. I got a few words of advice to the people of Warner Brothers. I ain't trying to say shit about you, whatever, but try to play catch up.
Try harder.
Yeah, try harder. Try harder. Go home. I don't mean to brag on it like that.
DC needs somebody running the shots, like Kevin Feige is for Marvel. They need a Kevin Feige over there, and I don't think they have one. Just seems like everybody's like meddling around.
There's too many cooks, too many hands in the cookie jar, as Paul would say.
Yeah, they need one person.
Yeah,
but everything should flow through.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, they need to have like one overseer calling up, in charge of that whole universe. And they definitely Jack said, happy birthday to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we can't wait to see. And of course, most of us can't wait to see Civil War. I know I need to see it. I need to buy my. I need the money to buy tickets, but hopefully, this Friday, upcoming Friday, most of the country will be, packed in movie theaters to see it, and hopefully we can't wait. Most of us, can't. Hopefully, I will be able to see it, and hopefully, we'll be able to discuss it on Monday, as I said. Definitely. All right. So, thank you so much for joining us. My name is CM Miller, and until next time, bye.